I am especially pained by the loss of lives in Borno, Jigawa, Kano, Kaduna, and other states, the destruction of facilities in some states, and the wanton looting of supermarkets and shops, contrary to the promise of protest organizers that the protest will be peaceful across the country. The destruction of properties set us back as a nation, as scarce resources will be again used to restore them.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to The Conversation, the very first edition of the program this week. That was President Bola Ahmed Tinubu addressing Nigerians yesterday, most importantly, the protesters, and of course, Mr. President do sympathize with those who have lost their loved ones, and of course, he went on and on addressing the fact that we stand to gain nothing in that protest, and of course, saying that the federal government is ready to dialogue with the protesters. Of course, meetings that took place in Kano, he also identified that, and so many other issues were raised during the presidential broadcast of yesterday. That is what set the tone for our conversation on the program this Monday morning. I am Ajibola Ojeshona. Welcome you to the program. The ladies are here.
Good morning. I am Adebimpe Omotayo. I had a restful weekend.
You did?
Yes, I did. A restful weekend. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's speech yesterday. Okay, let me allow Joy introduce herself first before we go into that.
Okay, good morning. I am Joy Olu. Welcome to the conversation. So, go ahead with what you
see the Olu on your head anyway. Because we can see that you're not professional at all, which they do. So, like rightly said, we're focusing on the presidential broadcast of yesterday on the program today. We'll also be taking a look at the attitude of some of our governors. Mr. President did say yesterday that he's been supporting governors, giving them money. He increased their allocations as well, but we cannot really feel the impact of some of these governors in some of their states. So these are some of the areas we intend to engage our guests with on the program today. And something funny happened yesterday in Oyo State. Fortunately, two of my colleagues are from Oyo State, one of our producers, Dele Adedino, and of course Adebimpe, who is there coughing. Why would anybody surrender their sovereignty?
They said they don't want autonomy. they want their allocations to be given to the governor, and the governor will give it to them.
How does that sound to you?
It's what they say they want.
That is what they want. I don't want to say what is
democracy
on my
is the
mind.
Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Did they carry their people along before they took that decision? I doubt. And the Supreme Court judgment is final, whether you like it or not. Exactly. The law is the law.
Exactly. I was going to say that, can anybody now say the Supreme Court is wrong, or can anybody say they're going to go against the ruling of the Supreme Court? A few weeks ago, after the Supreme Court ruling, the governor himself, came out to say,
the federal government,
cannot dictate to them how they run their
So are you surprised that are you surprised about this? I'm not.
Why are you not surprised? We're
now
talking
that
about
this
the court ruling,
now that they are leaving Algon, they are planning to float their own association. And what these will imply for the people of Oyo State, especially those at the grassroots, is what I don't know.
Ajimola, is it Algon that will pay the allocation? Is Algon FAC?
It's
true.
Algon.
They should leave Algon now.
You can form all the group that you want to form.
You need stop FAC for paying the money.
Exactly. Because the Supreme Court judgment is the final, and that is what the federal government will use in giving allocations to the 774 local government areas of the state. I just hope the likes of Adebimpe and Dele will go home and talk to their chairman. Yeah. All right, so quickly, we'll go to our news point for today, and we are starting with the presidential broadcast of yesterday. That will be taken by Adebimpe.
Yes, hunger protest. Tinubu's speech attracts knocks and kudos. The organizers of the End Bad Governance protest have demanded the release of 1,150 protesters allegedly arrested by the police during the first 3 days of the nationwide rallies. In response to the appeal by President Bola Tinubu to end the protest, which has claimed several lives following his broadcast on Sunday morning, the organizers, Take It Back Movement, Youth Rights Campaign, and the Creative Change Center, in separate interviews on Sunday, vowed to carry on with the demonstration, stating that Tinubu did not address their demands on Sunday morning's national broadcast. Tinubu had called for dialogue and an immediate end to the nationwide protests that have rocked the nation since Thursday. Protesters, largely youths, have been marching across several states, including Lagos and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for an end to bad governance and economic hardship. Not only the youth are knocking the president's speech, Soyinka, PDP, also slammed the president's address. NGOs, others hail it. And of course, protesters, demanding for 1,150 detainees.
Release.
What did they do? Why were they arrested? We saw a lot of violence in Kano and some other states, and looting in some other states, and you expect the police to leave them to continue to destroy these states? What are you saying? What are you telling people? Then, I must tell you, yesterday's speech.
For me, the tone of Mr. President yesterday was quite sober, and of course, he kept hammering on dialogue, the interests of the country. So what else do people want other than what Mr. President highlighted yesterday? And he was able to give us the breakdown of some of the policies and steps that his administration had taken so far to assuage the sufferings of Nigeria, for us to feel the impact of some of these steps. So Mr. President yesterday appealed for understanding on the part of the protesters, saying that they should take their protest off the street, that is ready for dialogue. So what more do we want? When the man did not address us, we complained.
No, he has addressed.
I know one of our guests said it on Friday that even if he does address us, it will not change anything.
It will not change anything, yeah.
Okay, I just hope they will reason along with the federal government rather, and of course give room for dialogue, give room for negotiation, and give this government a bit of time for us to begin to feel the impact of some of the economic policies of the federal government positively.
You know why you know why the youths are? Because the people really agitating, or the organizers of this protest, are the youths. Gen Zs, millennials. And they're saying that, look, for 8 years,
the former president, that for 8 years,
asked for patience.
They were patient. What came out of it?
And our sitting president now, he was part of those that marketed the former president to us in the name of change. Joy, let's take it.
All right. Protest continues in Lagos Monday by the organizers. The organizers of the End Hunger protest in Lagos have announced plans to resume their demonstrations at Gani Fawehinmi Freedom Park, Ojota, today, Monday, despite recent comments from President Bola Tinubu. This was in a statement issued by the organizing committee of the protest. The statement followed the president's broadcast yesterday, where the president acknowledged the protesters' concern and urged them to suspend their demonstrations in favor of dialogue. Anyway, according to them, they say, we consider the president's decision to address the nation an important victory for our movement. Without our courage and resolve to dare the odds, even this acknowledgement would not have happened. So far, we have demonstrated that a president is not greater than the rest of the country. They also criticized the president for what they described as a dual approach, offering dialogue while also demanding an end to the protest.
So, according to what you read, those ones have chosen to continue with the protest today, right here in Lagos. And, you know, last week, Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu actually commended the conduct of the protesters in Lagos because they were very peaceful compared to what we had in some other states like Kano, Yobe, Niger State. So after the presidential speech of yesterday, why would anybody want to continue with the protest this week again? are they saying that they are not willing to dialogue, they are not willing to engage government, and of course give some time for government to take certain steps? And for me, you demanding for the removal or the bringing up of fuel subsidy is not going to work. It's like we are taking 50 steps backward. Mr. President was able to highlight some of the gains of this subsidy removal, and he did say that with time we are going to we're going to start feeling some of the efforts of his administration. So that's enough for anybody to be off the streets, except I'm not in Nigeria.
Even when they say come for dialogue, who are the leaders? Who are those that are going to come first?
That's what I want to talk about now, that some people signed on behalf.
They're always signing on behalf.
These organizers are no longer, you know, faceless. Can we call it that? Because
they are not.
We have some names.
Okay.
We have some names.
SAN.
Yes.
It came out last week advising them to stop the protest and give the federal government some time to address some of their demands. So we cannot really call them faceless anymore.
Yes.
We can't.
Because we have
They
like,
just have
and Yadu was
spokesperson.
also part of it.
yes,
Okay.
yes, we saw him too. But even though Ebu said
He's
not
spokesman.
he's not a spokesman.
Okay, he's a
He
representative.
said he's just a representative.
Representative.
He's not the spokesperson.
Okay.
You know, as much as I criticize the federal government for coming out a bit late to address these protesters, I think they should also reason for a while and, of course, think of what they are going to gain if they remain on the streets. And we have seen instances whereby hoodlums have hijacked some of these protests in some
It
parts
takes
of the
more
country.
than 2
Look at what happened in the UK yesterday.
Yes.
The looting. It was really, really, really
And that's
bad.
the so-called advanced country.
countries that
And the
they are
tone of the Prime
organized.
Minister of that country was harsh.
Harsh, yes. It was really, really harsh. Anyway,
Is there a spirit of protest hovering around the earth?
We'll just continue to appeal for people to reason along with the states and, of course, federal government. And, you know, part of the negative impact of the protest is what I'm about to read as my news point this morning. Hunger protest, marketers stop fuel supply, queues resurface. Oil marketers have explained that the reappearance of queues at filling stations in many states is because of the halt in the supply of petroleum product by dealers in a bid to avert losing their assets due to the ongoing nationwide hunger protest. Many states in Nigeria, including the Federal Capital Territory, witnessed varying degrees of queues about 2 weeks ago, which the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited blamed on a hitch in the discharge of operations of a couple of vessels. While the company and stakeholders worked together to tackle the challenge, the nationwide protest against hunger and economic hardship, which commenced last week, disrupting petrol supply again and causing the reappearance of queues in some states. The National Public Relations Officer of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Chief Chinedu Ukadike, told this particular medium that marketers were advised to close their stations during the protest to avoid losing their assets. He also stated that many tankers did not load product during the first and second day of the protest, stressing that this distortion in the supply chain will cause shortages in states where the product would have been supplied. Although the national president of IPMAN, Abubakar Mingandi, advised independent marketers to go out and do their businesses and asked the security agencies to protect their facilities, saying it is pertinent to know that as at the time we were about to sell, we were called by security agencies to step down the selling of product at this time. Are there queues? I didn't see any this morning when I was coming.
I didn't see any.
I just want to find out for those, you know, who came from Ojota Axis today, how was the area like?
Whether the protesters are there?
Yeah, because
I went
one of
through
the
Ojota
stories we
yesterday.
read now.
I didn't see any.
Okay.
Yesterday. I didn't see any.
But they were there yesterday.
Yesterday? As I when I
yesterday.
passed, they were
So
not
we
there.
cannot really confirm, although they issued a statement that they are going to reconverge again at that Ganifawa Emi Park this morning, and of course analyze the presidential speech and know what step to take. Maybe they are going to meet with a team of the federal government or not. We get to find out in a couple of hours from Ojota. Hopefully, our correspondent will be there to give us feedback as regards what is happening there. Okay, that's our news point this morning. We quickly go to X and see what is trending there. The ladies of Nigeria made us proud yesterday. The D Tigress made us proud. And of course, they qualified for the quarterfinals of the Olympic basketball competition. The first time that any African country will be achieving that. They defeated Canada 79-70 yesterday. And, you know, a lot of commendations here and there for the D Tigress. And we hope, even in the face of hope, I'm very realistic because the quarterfinal pairing is out and they are going to face the United States of America.
I'm worried. I'm worried about, you know, for me, they've done very well.
They've done well.
They've done
Getting
very
this
well.
far.
Getting this far. You know, and meeting US, who is going to be somewhat the favorite team, it's let Nigeria just do their best. We will still commend them. Those girls have tried.
So the fact that they've gotten there, they have done well.
They went really far this time. Congratulations to Nigeria, despite all
that we are going through.
You know, and then favor Ophili.
Yes.
You know, she wasn't registered. Her name was missed for the 100 meters race.
Her name was omitted,
No, yes, her name was omitted. And then, you know, for the 200 meters, you know, she made us proud also. Congratulations.
Maybe we should
to the
just
girls.
tap into the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President and wish our ladies well. And, you know, miracles do happen. America is a strong force when it comes to basketball, but anything that can happen. It's a game, and if you take advantage of your opportunities, never say never. You can never say what is going to happen at the end of the day. But for me, having come this far, quarterfinal is a big achievement in the continent of Africa. Of course, we wish them well as they take on the Americans on Thursday. So that's what is trending on X. We'll be taking a very short break right now on the program. When we come back, we'll be looking at our governors, good governance, and of course, the presidential broadcast of yesterday. Do stay with us.